Hello and welcome to another episode of RWD Podcast. I am your host, Viv. This is the Real World Discovery Podcast where we have all the experts from different industries, and it's an online thought leadership series featuring all of these experts, and it is by Own Academy. By subscribing to our podcast, you'll discover real world problems and solutions, gain industry tacit knowledge, and pick up insights and advice from an experienced professional on what it takes to actually succeed in the real world. So subscribe now before it's too late. And I am going to actually introduce our new guest, today's guest, to you guys. I'm going to give you a short bio of who she is, and then she's going to tell us much more in detail. So what I'm going to say are actually the reasons why I reached out to her to begin with. She's a tech startup practitioner with 7+ years of cross-functional experience in operation, business analysis, and product management. She's originally from a small city in Indonesia. Her dedication lies in creating products to support people in underexposed areas like farmers and traditional MSME owners. She's certified professional coach who believes in grooming leaders. Additionally, she has spent 4 years, or probably more right now, as a mentor, facilitator, and trainer in Indonesia's top 5 education technology firms, empowering over 500 student entrepreneurs through webinars, workshops, incubation programs, and oh my God, it's so impressive. I want to hear more. Welcome, and please introduce yourself.
Hi everyone, nice to meet you all. So my name is Deassy Rizky Syahputri, but you can call me Dea for short. So Dea, like DEA. So yeah, now I've been in tech startup in Indonesia for around 7 years now, and have been exposed to a lot of functionals especially in tech startups industry, like from operations, business analysts, and then like product management, as well as I also handled growth and strategy as well in my previous role. So yeah, it was quite an experience, and I cannot wait to share.
We cannot wait to hear more about you. Yeah, first, let's start right from the beginning. Your journey.
Yep.
Tell me what you studied at school, at university, and where you are right now. How did you end up where you are? Was it even related to what you're doing or not?
Okay, cool. Thank you, Viv, for the question. So actually, I started as industrial engineering. So I took industrial engineering major in college. It was because back then my parents didn't actually like the idea I'm going to the English literature, despite of I liked English back then. So back then I needed to think the engineering major that I can go in, and I saw that industrial engineering actually is a combination of social and natural science, where we basically learning a lot of things, a lot of subjects like electrical engineering. We also study in like computer engineering. We also study psychology, accounting. Like we actually learn a lot of things, but like more into the general stuff. So back then, what I was thinking, okay, I think this engineering major is something that I can do, because we have a lot of things to learn, right? Because yeah, well, it's some people say that it's a typical Asian parent. Like in Asian parent, they usually want you to go to either medical or doctor, engineer, or law school, right? So that's actually how my parents as well. So I decided to choose a major that I think I can catch up. Yeah, in those years. So I chose the industrial engineering, and it's actually related when back then, like I had the real reflection what I want to be in like next 10 years, for example, and I think I want to be a CEO, which I am doing right now. I'm doing my own business, and in order for me to have my own business, I need to know some, some of the knowledge, like accounting, for example, economics, and as well as the computer science and stuff, where I have all that in industrial engineering. So basically, yeah, long story short, it's kind of like bring me to where I am now, and this is also why throughout my career, as you mentioned, with like I went from operations to business analyst to product management, where in the end of the day, the idea is that I want to connect all the functionals as a CEO. I believe that as a leader, I believe that it's better for us to have this knowledge. So we don't just like asking people to do something, but we actually have the knowledge in it, so we can guide people, we can coach people, not only just like bossing, being a boss, you know. So that's the entire idea of this. And yeah, it's actually ended up bringing me here now. Like I'm right now I'm building my own business where I connect like professionals to the business owners. I see that, being in startup industries, I see that a lot of people, business owners especially, they are learning. And the thing is that in Indonesia, last year especially, we have a lot of layoffs. The One of the reason was like there are a lot of massive hirings, so it was the easiest way for a company to, like to grow. Like, oh, we need a senior people, we just like pick someone from outside instead of grooming the talent inside. So what my idea was like, what if we groom the talent inside of the company to grow, to actually grow and develop, rather than like choosing the shortcut. So actually that's the general idea of something that I'm building right now. So yeah.
That's actually really interesting. I love that idea, educating the people
Hmm.
who are already in the company. Because they are,
Yeah.
culture wise, they are a great fit. That's why they're there, right? And they know more
Yes.
about how the company works and everything. So it's easier to spend time
Yeah.
on them because you're sure it
Yeah.
will work. I mean, the chances of it working is higher.
Yes, and actually, this is actually a great way to make them retain in the company, right? So by giving them, like the chance to develop and to grow, this is also like concerning. My concern about the tech startup in Indonesia, the average of the retention of a talent in the company, it's like around a year. So the reason, when I did some research to the talents, one of the reason was that it's not about, well, some of them they think about the salary, right? But the other, they mentioned that how the company is lacking of, like engagement, like giving trust for them to develop. So yeah, so that's actually the one of the problem that we can tackle with the business that I'm building.
So this is the main reason that inspired you to start your current profession, the massive layoffs and the solution that you
Yeah.
came up with.
Yeah, the massive layoffs, and how actually there are a lot of businesses, right? Like in Indonesia, there are a lot of tech startups, but it was also have a lot of problems with the talents. And these days, we also have like some news where the talents that got laid off, they don't get the compensation, they don't get the severance package. It's also concerning that it's actually everyone can be a CEO, everyone can be founders, right? But the thing is that there is no requirement, basic requirement to be a founder. Meanwhile, to be an employee, there are a lot of requirements, right? So I think it's also there is a knowledge gap between somewhat that there is a knowledge gap between the executive levels in startups industries and also the employees. So that's also one of the things that I want to address. Like not only the employee, but also we want to educate the founders and co-founders. So it can be something like opportunity for them to learn as well. So instead of like they basically one of the problem for the talents in Indonesia, right? Like we don't know what we don't know, they don't know what they don't know. So there are a lot of edutech, they provide these trainings, right? But the thing is that these edutech companies, they just like shuffle down the syllabus that they have, instead of like understanding the business, what is the knowledge that they need to solve the problem in the business. So that's actually how we will get going to this problem.
I love that. I cannot wait for this to get implemented in
Yeah,
every workplace. That would be so great. It's very smart.
yeah.
Can you,
Thank
Dia,
you.
can you tell me what are some of the key qualities that you think are
Mhm.
essential for anyone in this industry? I mean, in this position that you're at, what would be the key qualities?
In this position, as in like being a founder of a startup, right? Or
Yeah,
the product
yes.
management. Mm,
Product management
I
as well, but mostly CEO right now because you talked
I
about your
see.
business.
Yeah, I see. I think for me, right, like the way I see it now, product management and CEO has like similar key qualities. Like a lot of people say that, oh, product manager is a mini CEO, right? So that's how like the product managers and CEO has a similar quality, which I think first you gotta have leadership, and also another key qualities that we have to have is problem solving. So basically, this problem solving is essential for both product manager and CEO, because um, from what I observe, like from the few years back, a lot of I think it's some sort of challenge for PM and CEO is that we tend to stick to the idea instead of the problem. So, for example, oh, I want to build this app. It's built with AI and blah blah blah. It's very like cutting edge technology, but then like we don't know how this solution is putting to the problem, like which problem that will be solved with this app. So the thing is that as a problem solver, you see the problem instead of the idea. So it's like a doctor. A doctor, they give you the prescription based on the diagnose, right? Like they diagnose first and then like give you the prescription. Oh, you should take this meds. But then like a lot of CEO or PM problem was that they tend to give the prescription first and then they look for the disease, like it's the other way around. So I think problem solving is some essential skill to have as a founder, as CEO. You have, as especially as the CEO, yeah, like you are the brain of the company, like so you own the vision, the mission. You should have the idea, like how you will get money, how your company will survive and sustain. So something like that. So I think as CEO, you have to have a product mindset as well. So that's why I mentioned that PM and CEO has similar key qualities, which in terms of product, you also should know like your customers, who they are, what they're doing, what their habits, what their motivation in life and goals and stuff. So I think that's what key qualities that like the PM and CO should have: the leadership as well as the problem solving. And the last thing is about people. people management. Yeah, I mentioned on the summaries that for me, like I actually took coaching certification fifth instead of like other people. They usually took like agile certification, like Scrum, project management certification. But I took a coaching certification because I felt like um, in this, especially in Indonesia, because like I observed Indonesian companies, right? Like we need more leaders that that have an orientation to people, meaning that uh, we have a lot of smart people, right? Like having, like having a position in companies, but not many of them actually have people management skill. Like people is, for me, is the greatest asset of a company. So that's why I want to learn more about people. For me, like learning people is much more complex than learning other things, like I mentioned before, like computer science, economics and stuff. So that's why I took the coaching certifications to understand more about people and to learn how to nurture people. So for me, that's also one of the quality a CEO or a product manager should have, is a people orientation. Because as a product manager as well, you're not only working with your stakeholder, right? But also the user, the customers, meaning that you have to know your customers, not only like just how many women, how many men, or like the age, the occupation. No, but you also have to be, you have to to understand like their shoes, like in terms of their perspective. So that's also, I think, like those are three key qualities what makes a CEO and product manager.
And is there a skill that is unique only to product management, like something that you won't get
Oh,
in any other roles?
I see. That's a unique question. Okay. Uh, First, for me, like the unique skill that you will gain in product management is like first, stakeholder management. Um, Being said that as a product manager, you are a literal middleman. So you're in the middle of CEO, the business, the technology team, the operational team. So you are in the middle. You are the one who are responsible of the product. So you have to have your own standpoint, but you have also uh, have to manage these stakeholders. So because um, when you build a product, you don't build this product yourself, right? You need them for the product to succeed. So that's why you have to manage the expectation, the goal, and also like working together alongside these people, meaning that you don't have to be 100% making everyone happy, but you are the one who do the right thing, like do the right thing for the product, but in the same time you are capable to manage their expectation, manage the relationship with the stakeholders, and also manage the crisis. Because like when you manage more people, more head count, and therefore more crisis tend to occur. So this is also part of the stakeholder management, in my opinion. And the second one is another unique skill that you will gain as a product manager, is that building the I feel like building like the agility, like being agile. So as a product manager, basically when you build a product, there are a lot of things that can go wrong, right? Like it can be from your product, it can be from the customers, from the external factors, from the third party. So as a product manager, are you actually have to be agile, like, and being agile, meaning that you have to be able to adjust whatever the situation is, doing the right thing based on the resource we have and based on what is right at that moment. So that's also something that for me, I gain a lot as a product manager, being agile, how to adjust with the, like a lot of unpredictable stuff. Even like some companies, there are some companies that, uh, like changing their direction every month, every 3 months in a while. So that part I also have to manage to like adjust with that as well. So yeah, I think those two are unique skill that you will get as product manager.
In the previous question, you were talking about how
Mm-hmm.
product managers, they actually give the remedy first and then they look for the illness or sickness.
Yeah.
I want to ask, based on your experience, how do you determine what product you should build? How do you make sure that that is the
Mm,
correct product basically to build at the moment,
I
at
see.
that moment?
Okay, cool, great question. So what I did is that we have to talk more to the customers. So what I always promote to the product people is that you have to spend more time with your customers, talking to them, not only talking as in like, how do you feel about our product? No, but you are actually trying to get close to them. You ask like, how is their day, how they manage their activities, those stuff like that. And more importantly, you have to know what is their pain point, so from their perspective instead of our own perspective, because we tend to get our own ideas. Like for example, like when I was in a company serving farmers, right? So we back then thought that, oh, everyone should invest, like we in white collar, as in white collar people, we do investment, right? Oh, farmers should invest. But then like when I ask the farmer themselves, their motivation is not for investing. They don't even like have savings in the bank. They don't even bankable. So the thing is that they save money in the cabinet, and their motivation in life basically is to, like to survive. Like basically, if I today I have something to eat, that's good enough for me. So the idea is that for us, we have different motivation, right? For us ourselves, we have different motivation. So that's why investment is makes sense for us, but it doesn't necessarily it will make sense for the customers if we don't know them very well. So this is something that I learned because I spend this time to, like to create products serving the unservable market, right? So, like farmers, and also like the MSME owners, because like the challenge is that I'm not farmers. Not all product managers get to handle product where they are their own users. So the thing is that it's very challenging to, like to empathize to our customers, and to figure out what is their problem is to basically like talk to them, to observe directly, to basically being them, like to live with them, to live alongside. So that is the how we determine problem, so from the user side.
I love the way you think. Like, I want
Mm-hmm.
to throw a lot of different types of questions at you to just think how your brain works. But let's just stick to product management.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I have a question about cross-functional teams that we've talked about it at the
Yeah,
beginning.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
as the product management role that you have, how do
Mhm.
you approach building and managing a cross-functional team in high stress moments, especially?
How do you approach cross-functional team?
Build also approach
Oh,
building them.
Approach and
building
building.
them
Okay.
and managing them in high
Okay.
stress moments.
Okay. First of all, I love the idea of how we should give a context to our team. Like, for example, as a product manager, back then I was also responsible for creating the roadmaps, right? Like, what are the products we will build for 3 months, for the next 3 months, 6 months, even a year. So, I like the idea of I need to show them where we are going, what the metrics we are going to achieve, why we built this and this and this product. So, what are the goal we want to achieve? So, first thing first, I need to um, present them all like about the strategical stuff and give the room for them to ask and to challenge me basically, like because like I felt like maybe I missed something, right? Like because like sometimes there are products that is need to build from the, for example, from the infrastructure side, or like from the finance team, they need something to accommodate the product that we want to build on the roadmap, for example, something that might miss from my side. So by providing them the room to, like to pinch ideas and stuff, it's making the team, like more engaging. It especially for them, like because they felt like they're listened, their ideas being listened. And the second is that after I mention about the context and stuff, and give the room for brainstorm if any ideas, additional ideas, and that kind of stuff. The second thing that I like to use was one-on-one session. So basically, it's not the this kind of empathize, like empathy is not working just for the customers, but also for our team. So basically, like by having one-on-one, meaning that I need to know like each person, what is their motivation, what is their goal, what is their team's KPI, what is their target for their each of their division. So by knowing that, I know what point that I need to achieve on the negotiation part. So if there's any negotiation that I have to make with them, I can easily like point what kind of thing that I can negotiate with them if I know the target, their motivation and stuff. So that's why I also like to do the one-on-one with the team that is supporting the product. And the last thing is that empathizing is, so this is the third part, right? So empathizing is one thing, but the way we communicate is different thing, like from what I observe, every division they have different style of communication. Like if I tell something to engineer teams, I have to articulate it differently to the, for example, the customer service team. So if I have same, like type of communication, it will not work for the customer service team. Like they won't understand the technical jargons and stuff that I mentioned to the engineering team. So by learning how they communicate, it's also makes easier for us to like deliver our ideas, so that our ideas will be easily understood by them. So yeah,
Makes
those
sense.
three
I feel like
things.
the coaching thing that you did also helps you a lot with this whole communication.
Yeah. Yes, 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 yes. True, true. Exactly.
Mhm. So one of the core competencies we teach at Own Academy is openness and
Mm-hmm.
growth. And right now that you talked about the
Mm-hmm.
management of your team, especially when there's so much stress going on, can you tell me this openness and growth mindset? How does that look like in your field?
Okay, so openness and growth mindset. I would say it will relate it to the agile part that I mentioned before. So agile is that you have to adjust with whatever thing happened outside of your control, and you basically give a proper action to that. So in product management, we know agile in terms of like making a product, not only in terms of handling the risks, managing the risks, but also when we build product, we build it like mostly in iteration. So most of tech startups companies, they adapting the Scrum method, meaning that we usually start with the most simple version of a product, and we will iterate along the way based on the feedback, based on the what else, like trend of the customers, based on maybe some new competitors coming in. So that's also one of the factors that that can um, that affect our product. So and we have to know like what are the things we need to do to like to tackle this obstacles, this maybe like new competitor joining and other stuff, and even like situation like COVID, like the last 3 years, like there's COVID, right? So everything changes and we need to adapt to this changes. So that's agile is one of the part of openness and growth mindset, because when you don't have growth mindset, it's hard for you to be agile. Because like if you think that, oh, I think, oh, I have this a very great idea and I want this idea to be happen no matter what. So if you have this kind of mindset, it's hard for you to grow, especially in a company that is fast pacing like startup. So you have to be able to have openness to learn new things, even to unlearn new things, because there are some situations where we have to unlearn things that we already have. Like for example, now we are familiar with what is it, like TikTok or like Instagram, like social medias. Now it's changing compared to last 5 years, like where we post pictures. Now people tend to absorb the knowledge from videos, right? So we need to unlearn the way we produce contents in pictures. Now we try to learn new things, like I myself, I try to learn, like how to make videos on TikTok, on social media platforms, because like things are changing, right? So that kind of growth mindset, open to learn and unlearn and even relearn new things later on, it's essential nowadays. Yeah.
Can you give me a specific example where you had to
Mm-hmm.
navigate through a challenging professional relationship or a conflict? And what did you learn from that experience?
Okay, I have a lot of professional conflicts to choose from, but maybe one thing that happens a lot was I have this one situation. I just joined a new company, right? As a new person. So basically, they already have the engineering team inside. They never have product manager. So I came in as a new person inside. And um, back then, yeah, because I had previous experiences, so I have preferences, right, to look from. But then like the team inside the company, they are a fresh grad, so they're mostly a new joiners, new entry level new entry levels joining the company. So they don't have references outside the company itself. So when I joined them, I see the way they run uh, the like product development life cycle is uh, messy. Being messy, I meant like they are actually adapting, they're trying to adapting Scrum, but in the same time the way they work is actually a waterfall. So back then, like I was so confused, like how do you manage to achieve Scrum if the way we work is still, like very slow and doing waterfall instead of agile. So back then wanted to do was like I want to change this culture. I wanted to change uh, the flow that we had back then. So I told my peers, she also a new joiner as well. I think we need to change all of this like starting next sprint, right? And then like she agrees. She also a new joiner with me, right? So we both have the same idea because we have preferences outside of the company, right? So we wanted to change all of these culture, but then like it didn't go well with the team, the existing team, because like they felt like why, like who are you, you're just joining, like why you are changing all of this, there is nothing wrong with this system that we have right now. So back then like I was shocked, like okay, maybe it's not right for me as a new joiner like to just say something, okay, this is wrong, this is like wrong, this all wrong, like let's just change it. Like I felt like something that I should have done better back then was to educate them like slowly, like why we should adapt to these things, which are, and also like ask them what do you think about the current flow, how might we get it better moving forward. So what I back then what I learned was that well, yes, I have a lot of references outside, but the thing is that not when we join a team, what we had outside doesn't mean it can be implemented directly to the team that we are joining in. So meaning that sometimes we are too fast to judge, okay, this is wrong, this is not right, we need to change. But then like we forgot to analyze the people inside the team, the situation, because like different team, they have different situation. Yeah, well, the business is different, the stage of the business is different, so the needs of the team is also different. So some people they think like, okay, Scrum is the best, because like because why, oh every company they use Scrum, like they automatically like think waterfall method is wrong, is not good, it's bad, and blah blah blah. But the thing is that we ourselves should know why we adapting this culture and that culture, and not like too fast judging, oh this culture is good, this culture is bad. Because like for me, different team has different needs, different people, different level of knowledge and stuff. So we cannot just like adapt from, for example, we came from the big company, right, to a small company. We just like directly implement the culture in the big company in the small company. It doesn't work that way. So that's, I think, something that I learned a lot.
Oh, I could not agree more. I actually recently also came from a big company to a small company, and it's so true. You
Right?
definitely cannot implement things there here at all, or vice
Yeah.
versa. Definitely not.
Yeah, exactly.
I know. So tell me, what are some of the key skills and qualities that employers look for in candidates as product management?
Key qualities. How many key qualities you need?
I don't know. Give me like 3 to 5 most important ones that, let's say I am going for an interview and I want to make
Mm-hmm.
sure that I get picked as a product management. What are these key qualities that the
Okay.
employers are looking for?
Okay. So first, I think the most important one, right, is analytical thinking. So meaning that it's not only like the way the answer that you delivered, but also your attitude and behavior towards like you have during the interview. Like for example, whenever you felt like the question is not clear enough, you ask and ask for the clarity of the questions. Oh, so you mean this, or like if you think that the question is challengeable, so you ask the question. So you being proactive, and also being like having the analytical thinking is like keeps challenging the status quo, like keep asking why this, why that, why until you find out what makes it this way. So that's that kind of analytical thinking that we are looking for. So because like being product manager, as I mentioned, it's a problem solver. Like in order to identify the right problem, you should have a really develop analytical thinking, like by asking why is this happening, what do you mean, can I ask 2 minutes to think, to like structure the answer. That's also okay. So basically that's not only representing the answer, but also the attitude as well. The second one is I felt like the problem solving, yeah, like being analytical is one thing, but if it's not addressing the problem, it's also yeah, it's also something that we are not looking for from a candidate of product manager. So you have to be a problem solver as well. So meaning that being a problem solver, you need to have a focus on problem instead of the idea. As I mentioned before, like a lot of us, even me personally, like sometimes I still, like have an ego of, I think I once read this, like it's a CEO ego where you stick to your idea and then not seeing the problem. So this is something that a product manager should have. So having, like being a problem solver, see the problem and like why is it a problem, how this will affect the company, and something like that. And the last key qualities was I felt like a good product manager should be a data driven, meaning that your decision, the way you make decision, the way you make a statement, there is a data to it, or maybe like references, meaning that you don't need to like take a look on every data on this world, no, but you have to be able to have references. So that's why it's important for us to keep reading, or maybe like watching videos about what's happening on the industry, what's happening on the company itself, the product, and all of that is related to the product that or company that we want to apply. So yeah, so that's all.
Thank you. So being up to date is also very important. Not also data driven, but
Yes.
knowing all the news. Yeah, everything that is
Yeah.
happening in your industry. Um,
Yes.
I'm going to ask you the last question. What advice do you have for young individual, the ones who are actually watching this, who are interested in pursuing a career in product management?
Okay. Advice. For me, the advice will be first, manage your expectation, because there's a lot of misconceptions about product management. Was that okay? Product manager get to create and innovate a lot of stuff, but no, in order to make a product you will work with a lot of people. So the thing is that you have to manage the stakeholders, manage the people working with you, and also like manage the crisis that comes with it, the like the crisis, the conflict that comes with it as well. So it's not as easy as, oh, I want to make this and then this happened. No, but you have to encourage them. You have to provide the why we build the product. You have to manage the team, because they also people, they sometimes like some people get demotivated, some people get like lost and stuff. So you have to take care of that as well. So it's not uh rainbows and butterflies, like, oh, I want to make this and then this happens. So it's not that easy. So there are a lot of things that comes with it, like Spider-Man, like Parker grandpa said, like with high responsibility comes, and with high power comes high responsibility. So that kind of thing that we have to manage, the expectation, the kind of expectation we need to manage. And the second was that there if I see that a lot of people are actually interested in this role, right, in this product management role. um Not only the fresh grads but also a career professional. So mind you that you are actually have a lot of competitors in terms of getting into this role. So what I would suggest was to identify what is your value, what is your strength in you that will help you to be the product manager. Like, why should a company hire a product manager that have your skill set? Like, for example, I came from business analyst background. Like, I shifted to product management, bringing the data and analytical skill that I have as a business analyst. And I told them, if you don't have a product manager that has a good analytical thinking and data analytics skill, you will spend a lot of budget and time wasting for product that is not needed for your company, right? So that's how I sold. Yeah, that's how I pitched myself to the company back then. So please identify what is your strength and how this skill, the strength skill of yours, is going to help you as product manager, and why this company should hire a product manager like you. So that's, I think, a good advice for those who want to, like, barge into this industry as a product manager.
Thank you so much. So that's a wrap for today's RWD episode. Again, thank you guys so much for listening to our podcast, watching it. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And to our industry expert, Dia, it was such a beautiful feeling to get to hear you. I love how your brain works, honestly. I feel like I want to be a product manager right now after listening to you. So you did a great job. Uh,
Thank you.
Thank you so much for generously sharing your learnings and all your insight with us today as well. Go ahead and say your goodbyes to the audience so we can wrap up the whole show.
Okay, so thank you, Fifth and Owen Academy. Hopefully, you guys find the topic we discussed today, we talked today, beneficial, and you can go connect with me on LinkedIn if you have any questions. I will be glad to answer all of your questions. So yeah, good luck for you all, and yeah, yeah, good luck. That's all I want to say.
Thank you so much. Have a beautiful day and thank you again. Bye bye.
Bye bye.